In Keegan, we saw a man who had the one thing that we wanted. Apart from his ability, his natural enthusiasm.
Keegan was already on the move into the box, and he's got it over the keeper's head. Toshak and Highway up, and Keegan shots, and he scored. Hooks. Toshak, Keegan, 2-0.
Half the world's shock and natural enthusiasm, but Kevin Keegan isn't.
Liverpool first came into my life when I heard from Ron Ashman, my Scunthorpe manager, that I was going to Liverpool to sign for him. I'd played 150 games for Scunthorpe, so I wasn't a new kid on the block. When I got to Anfield, they were developing what still is the main stand, and the temporary offices were down at which were the development office for a long while, and I sat on a dustbin outside for about 20 minutes waiting to see the man himself. Biggest thing in my mind on that day was my father saying to me, "Don't sell yourself cheap, son." He was a miner. He always said, I don't want you to work down the pit. And it was sort of sticking in the back of my mind. And I had to put a new suit, tie. And he said, "How does £30 a week sound, son?" And I just said, "I'm on more than that at Scunthorpe, Mr. Shankly." Shanks then said to me, "Well, what about 40? I said, that'll be fine. So I sort of remembered what my dad said. Sort of thought I hadn't sold myself too cheap. My first contract was £40 a week. I don't know why, but I think he just took a shine to me, you know. He sort of saw maybe in me something of himself, I don't know. He put his arm around me one day and said, "Son, you'll play for England." And I'd only been at the club 2 days, and I knew I would. So, absolutely inspirational for me. It was just one of those guys you thought, you know, you'd die for him. And I think most players felt like that. Going to the match was an experience, because obviously I pulled up to where the barriers sort of were, where the stewards are, and the guy said yes, and I said, "I'm playing." I mean, nobody knew me, I wasn't in the programme, you know, and he sent me back round the other side of Stanley Park, and so I was a little bit late, but yeah, I played, and I suppose it was a good way to make a debut, because we didn't have a lot of time to think about it. You know, I was in there playing, and after 13 minutes scored in front of the Kop. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
The Thompson keeping at him, the way back cut off, and it's come straight to John Toshak. Got too many, but that's Keegan. Keegan with a chance, and he has scored. Kevin Keegan has scored.
You know, but it was a great start. I mean, I don't think of the 60-odd thousand people who were there that day, I don't think any of them would have known me. When they announced the teams, like, you know, they must have wondered where I come from. It was just unbelievable. It was fairy tale stuff, really.
Keegan comes in, number one. Toshak, Keegan.
I suddenly realised, apart from my school days, winning a couple of medals with my school team, I'd never won anything, you know. So, wow, I mean, it was unbelievable, getting medals and success and the euphoria around the place, you know. I'd never really had that. You got to remember, we were doing this at that time with about 14 players, 15 players, and so the closeness of the unit, you know, was incredible. We had a lot of good people around us, people you take a little bit from. You think, wow, what makes Emlyn so special on the football field? Fitness. I want to be fit. What makes Tommy so special? Loves the club, so I'll take a bit of that. What makes Callie so special? Well, he's disappointed he didn't play 1,000 games for Liverpool, you know, so we all became big heroes, you know. If you're successful and people see you, you know, really wanting to win games, everyone's an hero, you know. So that was a time when I was 20, 21, so very influential time for us.
Played short this time with Callaghan. Flicked across their first time. Oh, indeed, what a wonderful goal. Toshak, Keegan, 1-0.
What I liked about Tosh was he was so easy to read on the football field, you know. We both knew what our strengths were, and we both knew what our weaknesses were. If Toshy was going up, I just thought, he'll win this. He didn't always win it, but if you have that positive thing, if he did win it, I was onto it, whereas defenders maybe thought he might not win it. So, yeah, we got on great on the football field. We never spent any time together off it. He lived in Formby. I lived in Kilkin in North Wales. So we were 100 miles apart. Never went out to dinner with him, but we got on great. We never went in the papers as a team. We never said what we were going to do. We just went out and did it. But Newcastle, and particularly Malcolm McDonald, had been, in the papers, and he'd done an article. I hadn't seen it, but obviously Shanks had. He said, "Boys, read that." And he just pinned it up. And he walked out the room, and we're all going home like school kids to look at this thing, and it was more or less, they haven't got the pace to deal with us, they haven't got this, they haven't got that. Well, it was a big mistake. When you read that, we didn't need a team talk, and I think that's why it was so one-sided. The amazing thing about it is we didn't win by more.
And the cup belongs to Liverpool.
It is with great regret that I, as chairman of Liverpool Football Club, have to inform you that Mr. Shankly has intimated that he wishes to retire from active participation in league football.
I can remember being devastated and just hoping that it wasn't true. I believe, and it's only what I learned, that Shanks at near the end of every season went in and sort of said, I've had enough. I think he had this constant battle with the board on different issues, and they sit down, sort it out. And I think most of the older players who knew that had happened, like Sir Tommy and Emily at the time, and he thought, it's just brush over. But it didn't, and he left. And when he left for me, half the club left. No disrespect to anybody else, the players, the fans, Bob who took over. For me, when Shanks went, as I said, it was the beginning of the end for me at Liverpool. I just felt half my life had gone. Well, 3/4 probably.
Chipped up in the box, on by Toshek to Keegan, and the old firm have done it. Look at the delight on those faces of players and spectators.
Keegan comes up now and sends it the wrong way.
It would have been a mistake not to announce it and not to tell people, because, it was out there. It didn't make life any tougher for me. I think supporters, you play well. I was playing to get away. And if I played badly, well, he's going anyway. That I understand. But for Liverpool, it was fantastic, because it gave them a year to find a replacement. And boy, did they do that. Kenny at that time was 27 years of age, fully established, probably played 50 times for Scotland. When I came, I was a kid. But when I left, I was like Kenny. I was captain of England, he was captain of Scotland. So I think it worked really well for both of us. I went on then because I needed another challenge. If you look at my goal scoring record from Hamburg to Southampton to Newcastle, it's much better than my ratio at Liverpool. And yet, without any doubt, I was playing the best team at Liverpool. But I just learned the secret. I've been here before. I know what the goalkeeper did last time. He's going to do that again. It's just called experience, I suppose. We'd won the league, and we went over there terribly disappointed about the cup final. We'd played Man United. We should have won the treble, in our eyes. Had we turned up and played and anything like we could, we were favourites.
Manchester United have won the FA Cup.
But we used it as a spur, said, come on, all of us, come on, we're better than that, and we'll need to be better than that to beat these. For the Liverpool supporters, it was incredible. They'd gone all the way down to Wembley, and they'd had the same emotions we'd had. They got back and say, I'm not sure I want to go to Rome to see another performance like that. That's how it is. But they came. Boy, did they come.
The hills of Rome are alive to the Liverpool sound. That's nice, that's McDermott, and that's a goal! Oh yes! And what about it, yes?
It all looked fantastic in '77, great end to the Liverpool book, if you like. A good final chapter, not perfect because of the cup final, but just about as good as it gets.
Keegan! Keegan! That's for Keegan! What a goal!
The 1-2 was beautiful, and Keegan scores for Liverpool.
Liverpool made me not just a footballer, made a person. Bill Shankly came and paid £33,000 for me when To be honest, nobody else would. So they just put me on a road and put me on a path, and I got way, way beyond what I thought I would at this club because of the players they had. They had some great players, and I managed to keep my place. It's just 6 years for me, but it seemed a lot longer than that. Liverpool fans, you know, when they started singing my name, I mean, what am I? 5'7", I was 6'6".